Plan on flying? It's time to upgrade to a Real ID. Because in order to board domestic flights, your driver's license or state-issued ID must be a Real ID, or you'll need another acceptable form of identification. So don't wait. Find out how to get your Real ID at tsa.gov/RealID. That's tsa.gov/RealID, or visit your local DMV. And then you'll be cleared for takeoff.
Hi, good people. Welcome to Lovely J Podcast with Miss Coco Bowden. Told y'all I was going to try to keep coming on a little more often. I am getting ready for work, y'all. I just got up with a serious something in my back. I don't know what. Maybe a pinched nerve. I hope it's not, though, but it does feel like it. When I'm walking, I feel a pinch in my back, and it does not feel so good. However, I've got to get something to eat before I get started and try to straighten up some of this mess that I've left. I've got a lot of samples to do today. So, just to let y'all know that I will be doing the gospel show. It's coming back surely. I'm in the midst of downloading lots of music to play on the station. So you can still listen to what I already have on there. I'm heating me up what is this? Lean Cuisine Supreme Pizza. That's what I'm having for lunch. Y'all, I have been watching some of the news things on Trump and how what he did to them lawyers. He went after the lawyers that had came after him, and now he's trying to shut them down. And now some of them done signed up to do work for him, just so they can keep their firms. That's sad. Very sad. So turns out the Constitution is not the Constitution as we know it anymore. It's only the Constitution depending on who's in charge or who's in office, right? Because everybody doesn't go by that Constitution. And we have known for a long time that the black race was never treated fairly anyway. But now to see it happening to the white people, what has happened to us all along, it's not even funny because still it's not about really getting fair treatment, but how about if people just get treated like human beings? That's even better. If people would just get to the place of treating people like humans and follow the laws that keep everybody protected and safe, because that's what the laws are here for, to make sure that we all are treated equal. But it's not true. Because there are so many of us that are like me that we don't have the freedom as others have. I mean, yeah, sure, we can go do things. We can still go to stores and, go different places. But we don't have the freedom of privacy in our homes. And until that happens to you, and I know I jumped right in this because I'm trying to get done what I need to get done here. Until you have went through or witnessed someone who has went through that experience, somebody open up my car seat things. Until you have went through that experience of people coming in your house all time of day and night, and sometimes even with you in it, and you don't have any help, or you can't, get any protection from law enforcement, you can't file a complaint, I've been restricted from filing even complaints. The last time I tried to file a complaint, I think I stopped trying around 2023 because they started trying to make me look crazy when I was saying what was going on. But mind you, I had an officer that told me that you need to leave these people alone because you don't know what they're capable of doing. That's what he said to me. And ever since that officer told me that, I have been going through things. But not to talk about me, but I'm talking about the whole United States right now. And I just use me as an example because I've been lost a lot of rights in the amendments, like my civil liberties. I've been lost a lot of that. There's nothing I'm doing right now that others cannot see or hear. Because I'm an investigative subject. Even though I don't know why, but I am. And it's hard sometimes not to talk about it because it's became a part of my life. But now to see it happening worldwide is even more heartbreaking than just going through it myself. Because I know my faith in God is what carries me. I have faith in God. But what do you do when you see those? Okay, when I say those, I'm speaking in reference of attorneys and lawyers. What do you do when you see those that are supposed to protect people like me? Now they need protecting. What is this really coming to? Now they need help. Trump really came out and he used all his authority and power to bring down whoever he can. If there's anybody that gives him a threat or he feels threatened by anybody, he's going to bring you down. And I can't, at this point, I can't even, and I don't think I'm wrong for this, but I can't even, it's kind of like a smile on my face because just when a lot of these people who help hold the law in doing, okay, so on targeted individuals, the law does not apply, right? Because we lose our civil liberties, our civil rights. We don't get the privacy in our homes and our vehicles. We're followed 24/7. But now we're starting to see the same thing happen to just the so-called heroes, like the congressmen, the senators, and the attorneys. Now they're starting to go through the same thing. Maybe not to the magnitude that I'm going through, but in a way, maybe it's worse. Because everything they do now, they got to run it by Trump. And if Trump does not approve of what they are doing, then it's a possibility they lose their law firms or, their business. That Trump can turn people against them to the point where they don't have any business. I think someone was saying that they didn't even have, that they lost a lot of their business. Yep, that's what they were saying, that they had lost a lot of business and big clients. That's how they were saying, big clients. They lost out on a lot of big clients because of the controversial thing with Trump and how he's against them. But it doesn't surprise me. I'm not laughing at them people. I'm really just laughing at the devil because what the devil meant for bad for one person, it turned out. That's why they say that if it's happening to one of us, it's happening to all of us. And now it's playing out full face. It's happening to all of us. And if you're confused about what I'm talking about freedom. Your freedom of rights, your freedom to live peacefully in your own home, the privacy, your freedom to choose who you want to be, where you want to be this person at. That's what I'm talking about. Now they're even deporting American citizens. How do you deport somebody didn't come from somewhere. I mean, the government we live in. So no, it's not funny, but I look at a lot of these people who have taken place in the harassments of targeted individuals, and now they're in the same position. So what goes around does come around, and that's why I stopped feeling bad for myself, being a victim of this society rage. I stopped feeling bad for myself, and I started back doing the things that I know to do in life, because it just was not worth it. At the end of the day, everybody's going to go through something. We may not go through it the same way, but the something is coming. And that's what happened. The something came. Trump. Trump come and showed everybody, look, I can be your friend today and I can be against you tomorrow. And that's what he did. He went against a lot. Now, I am trying to I gotta get my house in order, y'all. I really do. But, and having said that, a lot of you need to get your house in order. But I'm talking about the spiritual houses. Because while we out here following what they doing, we need to make sure we right with God. Just the saddest thing. He gave them permission to do all this bad stuff, officers, and, it's just a lot of people who got permission to do bad things to the black people or the Hispanic people, and now it's coming back to them. Now he's doing it to white people, too. Anything he takes from us black people or Hispanic people, Asian, he's taking from the white, too. So he really has nobody Pacific. He has everybody in his view that if he feels like they're a threat, those are the ones he wants to do something with. And I even saw where he was talking about the martial law thing. Now, come on now. He started talking about bringing in the martial law into the black communities. And I'm going to tell you something. Every time I see a video on it or I hear somebody talk about it, I want to say something, but I'm like, no, I can't say it there. I have to wait till I get to my podcast to say it. But he was not lying when he said the black people were begging for the police to be in their communities. He was not lying about that. Black people have been conditioned to turn on one another, or so-called snitch. I can understand we want to keep our community safe, and at the same time, they got this thing, black on black crime, that they throw in our face, which is true. There is a lot of black on black crime. And at the same time, the police and I would say the white officials have coerced our black mothers and fathers to go against their children by telling them, turn them in, versus get them some help, or let's see if we can work together to get them some help. But you're not going to get any help from these people. I'm going to tell you that now. There are all kind of programs out here that supposedly help our people, but they really don't. They just another way for them people to make money. That's all it is. Even down to the black people who have these organizations and they come in and say, well, I'm coming here to help the black community. Let's help our children. You know what they do? They put our children on these lists, and then they had convince us to ship our children off instead of teaching us things that we don't know about parenting. I know because I've been there. And to this day, that's a big regret that has always been on my heart. And the only thing that gives me peace in that regret is when I hear my daughter say sometimes that she learned this over there or she learned that, and she brought it back, to let me know that she did learn things and she still uses those skills that she did learn. But still, what if they would have just sat there and said, well, okay, let me teach you how to do this. It was only one person who said, I'm going to send you to some parenting classes. Because keep in mind, you're talking about kids having kids. And these are the kids that are running the streets now, is those kids that are having kids. So the kids that are having kids, their children don't know how to behave because their parents were just kids. So when you get these kids, once they get up some age, we start acting just alike. You like to party, I like to party. You like to dance, I like to dance. Because we're so close in age. And it matters. So this is how they fool us into saying and becoming informants for them. They say, look, we're straightening up the community. You just let us know who the troublemakers are. And then, you got those Miss Sallies on the porch with the glasses, pretending like they watering the lawn and doing things. But the whole time they're watching everything that you are doing, that your family is doing. They're watching everything. And going back, reporting what you do in your own home or outside of your home. They are called peeping Toms. And these peeping black Toms, have put every black person in danger, including themselves. Just because they feel like the sheriff department or the police department is on their side does not mean that's the truth. I have seen people dedicate their lives to being peeping Toms and informants, and they got nothing out of it. These people are so vulnerable, and they were so ready for peace, so afraid. See, fear will push you into the arms of the wrong people. They were so fearful of what the communities were becoming that they became informants, and that wiped out our black men and women. Go back to Martin Luther King's time. There was, I think, 7,000 informants against him. Or was it? I want to see if I can get some clarity on that. Give me a second. But there was a lot of informants out there against Martin Luther King. And then I heard some people say that he was an informant himself, which very well may be true. And which may be why he was targeted harder than most people. Oh, I gotta turn my internet thing on. Hold up. Glad y'all said something. Because I got to. Y'all, let me go check this pizza. And while this is pulling up, I need to see if my pizza is ready. But this is just a conversation that was on my mind when I started seeing the news and all kind of TikToks and things. I'm back. My pizza was done, so y'all know I ain't going to be on here much longer. Gotta eat and keep it moving. Keep working. Let it cool down. Okay, let me see what I got pulled up here. I was right. Okay, so what the AI has pulled up for us is that I can name my AI, can't I? Let me name it Mr. Wilson, if I can remember that. What Mr. Wilson has pulled up is estimating the exact number of black informants during Martin Luther King Jr.'s time is challenging due to secretive nature of their work. However, it's known that the FBI's Ghetto Informant Program And they even got that abbreviated GIP, had around 7,400 informants operating nationwide, with a significant portion being African American. And that's still the problem now. The big portion of informants out here are black people. Black people who say that they want their communities back in order, but they're not willing to take time and patience to teach the kids that are having kids, or protect the kids that are having kids, if you want to get techno about it. If a lot of these kids that's having kids, why is this? It's because of what's going on within their homes. If y'all would let us come up, we could help our children more. We can get the education we need. But that's not possible when you keep holding us back. Anyways, it's so many informants out here now that invite crime. They think they're doing right. And I understand being fearful of your neighborhood, because I know what it's like to duck and have to crawl on your knees to the floor all time of night. I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to feel unsafe, to feel like, you're tired of being robbed, to be frustrated, to be angry about it. I understand that. But if you gonna give in like this and let somebody else come in and override your neighborhoods and your communities, we all need some help, but all help ain't good help. Then it's your fault. It's your fault. You sit up there and smile for recognition. Meanwhile, these black children out here not getting properly educated. You know how many white supremacists is in the schools teaching and yelling at our babies right now? It's a lot of them. I can't even name them all, but it's a lot of people in the schoolhouses right now that don't like black people. But yet, you want to be an informant against your own race. I don't feel no type of sorry for you when it's your turn. I don't. I used to pray, Lord, have mercy on them. But I don't feel no type of sorry for you when I see you going through. Think about what you did to others. Now, I pray whatever the Holy Spirit leads on my heart. But those with reprobated minds, those who are living their life in greed and not caring about other people's lives, I feel nothing for you. And if I'm wrong, may God convict me and I come around to a better understanding. But as of right now, when I see you go through, I don't know. I'm shut off to that side now. Because I've been followed by enough black people in the church, on the streets, people I used to know, family. Once you see them turn on you like that, there's no way in the world you could ever trust again. You can't trust them. But now when you see what Trump doing, Trump finna have a lot of people out of jobs. He finna bring the high down. I thought I even had seen something about the taxes that he was doing away with, the middle class taxing. So what do these informants do? These informants play significant roles in the FBI's surveillance and disruption of the civil rights movement. The full extent of their involvement and the impact of their actions remain complex topics of discussion and debates. There's only one reason why there's drugs out here. Poor people can't get drugs into their communities, but we know who can. And I'm going to leave that at that because I'm not even touching that. On the ending of everything that I've said, I don't fault Trump for being Trump. At least he being who he really is. I'm more upset with these informants who are out here pretending to be somebody they're not. Out here befriending people just to get information from them to go and use it against them. Those are the people who I really could care less for. Those informants. And they're all over, so don't think they're just in one place. They're all over. Again, I just have to say that, if I'm wrong for thinking like that, if I wash my hands of it, if I shook the dust off people that are like that, because I'm around people like that every day, but I really did. I truly just got to a point where I said, you know what? It's either going to be me or them. And I love me, so I chose me. So in choosing me, that meant I had to go back and shake the dust off those who rejected me, who didn't receive me as me. I had to let it go. I'm not finna sit around and see. The thing about someone like me, it's not just intelligence, but it's the fact that I have been through so much pain till my body automatically knows, hey, that's a person you need to shut off right there, or that's a person you need to stay away from. That's discernment at its best, and wisdom, and it's a form of self-control and discipline. When you understand that you can't change how people feel about you, then you'll change how you feel about them. And that's what I did. It was people who I just couldn't continue being friends with. It just didn't work out. So I just left people alone. If people want to do me like that, I leave them alone. But that's my discussion is today, that I am starting to see the same things that were happening to me. Now it's happening to bigger people than me. Well, at least they got bigger titles, but even their money is not helping them. That's how bad it is. Okay, y'all, I'm finna get off, and I'm finna eat something. However, though, I probably jumped on this topic all different kind of ways and things because I'm hungry, and what else? I'm hungry, and I really do got a lot on my mind, but I just want to bring some type of content to you, some type of talk to you, so that y'all don't forget about me. Now I needed to get back into it, and I think I know how I'm going to do it now. I've got to get some order. I got to get some order between this job and this job. I got to figure out how I want to do things. But thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow. If you have not followed this podcast, go ahead and follow this podcast. Thank you. Peace, love, and happiness.